looking to do something with your house, then talk to it. I hope this is helpful. I hope this gives you the insight that I talk to my car, I talk to my house, I talk not just to pets, but I talk to my plants, I talk to my garden, I talk to my computer. I'm now talking to my office. I've talked to my body as well. My partner and I separated. I did not want to let go of this house because this was, my house. It was my house. It called me. I lived here. It raised me and my kids. But I knew we had to sort of separate, and I knew I had to sell the house. So it took me a little while, and I started talking to the house. I had had conversations with the house before, and this is how it went. I would just sit really quietly, and I would say, do you know what, it makes me tearful. I've really, really appreciated living in this house. It's been splendid. The fact that we found each other, the fact that I've been able to raise my kids here. If it's purposeful, I know it's, what seems to be happening is when your kids get to about 7, for a lot of couples, they separate. If this is what this is about, if I've got a lesson to learn, if my partner's got a lesson to learn, I accept that. But what do you want? What do you want so that, we can, separate ourselves, we can, go on with our lives, keep everything as happy as possible? What is it that you want? And she showed me in pictures, so like telepathy, and she showed me that the shutters were not careful. I said, yeah, I know, I'm so sorry. I said, I really have asked and asked and asked and asked that we could get this done. And the gate, she said, showed me the gate, she said, what is that about? I said, I have nagged and nagged and nagged, and this has been, cause a lot of our arguments because the house is just, running down, and I'm really sad about it. So she showed me that, and she said, well, get it fixed. You've got to leave me pretty. And I said, you are so right. I've got to leave you pretty in the best possible way. You've just, over the last few years with storms and a lot of sun, the paint has just come off the shutters. So I found somebody who would do the shutters, and I just went, you know what, I'll pay for it because she deserves it. And then I had another conversation with my house another day, and I said, is there anything else that you'd like? And she said, oh, the carpet on the stairs is just, it's not nice. I said, you're so right. I said, but thank you for showing me. So I went about taking the carpet off the stairs, sanding the stairs, and staining the stairs, and gosh, they look beautiful. And I painted the kitchen, and I said, is there anything else that you want? She said, no. She said, I feel better now. I feel better that you're listening to me, and I feel better that you're taking care of me. And I said, well, please show me what else you want so that we can move out of the house. I so appreciate you, and I want someone else to really appreciate you too. Maybe it's another family or however it's going to be. I said, but I want you to be happy. So I think it was a few days later, I had already found somewhere to go and live, and I was signing the papers, and I dropped the papers off. And I came back, and I was always putting out there, where would I go and live, and what would that be like? And I was imagining myself and my boys living in another house. I created the next house that we moved in with exactly the same specifications that I wanted, 2 studios so I could do retreats. So that was out there, but first of all, I had to sell this house. So I was alone in the house one day, and I was kind of pottering around, and I just got this vision of putting a sign outside the house, like a white sign with black stencil writing, which would say à vendre, in other words, like AV, for sale, which is in French, just your telephone number, that's all you need. I went, that's never going to work. This road, nobody drives up this road. It's like a farm up there. Every other house up here, there's only 5 houses, is a holiday home. It's never going to work. Just do it. So I spent the afternoon, I found a piece of wood, I painted it white, I let it dry, I found a stencil, and I painted a big black pen, and I put à vendre and made it all spaced out, put the telephone number, and put it outside the front gate, which were now painted and looking gorgeous, just down the roads. But it was only, people would only see it if they came one way up the road. So I did that, and I just waited. And I was like, okay. I had organised estate agents, 2 different estate agents, big American firm, and another one in the village. and we had loads and loads of people come around, but nobody was buying. And I was just like, what is going on? So this is why I was talking to my house. So I fired all the estate agents, and this is when I was alone in the house, and I was like, we have to do this ourselves. I'm the only one who can do this, so tell me what you need to do. That's why I ended up talking to my house. So she showed me this sign, whiteboard, black writing, put it out on the road. I was in the garden one day, and my telephone rang. So I went and answered the telephone. There was a French couple, and they said, we've just driven up the road to look at another house for sale up your road. And I said, oh, really? They said, I'd like to come and have a look at your house. Can we come now? And I went, no. So how about tomorrow? They said, yeah, fine, same time tomorrow. I said, yeah, fine, good. I'll make the arrangements. So tidied the house, swept things up, put all the toys away, organised the beds, and did what I needed to do. Said, wow, within 2 days, got a call from somebody looking at the sign. Might work, might not work, I'm easy. These people came, they looked around the house, they looked around the house again, and I said, look, I'm just going to leave you. I'm going to go and do what I need to do in the kitchen. You just walk around the house as you please, just whatever. No kids were there, it was just me. Anyway, we sat down, I made them a cup of tea, and we had a nice conversation, and told them, you know, how I'd come here and all that kind of thing. And I was including the house in the conversation as well. I was just saying, I've really loved living here. Anyway, they made an offer, and it was exactly the offer that I wanted. And they absolutely loved the studios. They could see they'd putting their mum in there. They came from Paris, and I sold the house. I sold the house right then and there. So like they came and they spent probably half an hour looking around, another half an hour having a cup of tea and having a chat. We sold the house. And that was it. And I got exactly the right price that I wanted for it. No estate agent, with a sign down a country road that hardly anybody drives down. So that is how, telepathy, intuitively, with my soul, I sold the house that was calling me for years and years and years, that I then moved into, and then it was my time to move out. I'd done what I needed to do. I'd made the house pretty. I'd made, 2 studios. We'd lived in it. We'd given it energy. The kids were running around, and I'd raised the kids there, and it was time for us to move on. It was time for my partner and I to sort of go separate ways, and it just worked out beautifully. Within a week, I was like, oh, now I need to find somewhere else to move to. I know how to do this, and I don't want to use an agent. This is what I want. I want this. And I'd signed the papers for this other house that I'd found. I got this urge when I came home, just look at the computer again, just search again. So I did, and I went through, and the second page I went down on this website that, all the houses for sale were on here, called the Bon Coin, which is the good corner. And I went, no photos. Why would anybody put a house on there with no photos? But it was exactly the price I wanted. Had exactly the number of bedrooms. I went, that's strange. I've never seen that before. Rang the guy, and I said, can I come and see your house? I said, I've never seen it on there before. He said, oh, it's been on since April. I went, I've never seen it. I've been scouring the pages, never seen it. I said, can you send me some photos? He sent me some photos. The photos were absolutely brilliant. I said, I'm coming to see the house. Went to see the house, and as soon as I walked over the threshold, I felt at home. So if you're looking to do something with your house, then talk to it. Thank it for the years that you spent with it, every single room. And before, this is something else, because I was selling the house and the boys weren't really happy about moving. They'd never moved house before. And I said, okay, well, just sit here quietly. We sat on the beds of the boys. And I said, just say thank you to the house. Say thank you to your bedroom. We'll say thank you to every single room. We'll say, we wish you well, and we're going to move on, and we're going to have an awesome experience in another house. So don't be sad. The house will be happy. We still have our memories, and we still talk about the house. So they did that, and we did it a couple of times to make sure that they were absolutely fine about leaving the house. I didn't want it to be ripping away from a situation. I wanted them to understand that this is just life, that you move on. The house has served us so well, but it's a different phase of our life that we're moving into for whatever reason. And that's how I got the children to speak to the house as well, so that they were happy. They were physically feeling it. They were happy. And that the house was happy, that the little ones were going from the house as well. Look, I hope this is helpful. I hope this gives you the insight that I talk to my car, I talk to my house, I talk not just to pets, but I talk to my plants, I talk to my garden, I talk to my computer. I'm now talking to my office. I've talked to my body as well. I had a customer, a client on this morning. I said, so what does your body want? Oh, I don't know, I've never asked her. And I said, but you're intuitive. You're brilliant at bringing down messages. I said, but she said, no, I don't really, I don't want to have to bother about food and stuff like that. I said, totally understand, but ask your body. What would it be that would be absolutely awesome for you to eat and to experience? I'm feeling it needs to be delicious. Talk to your body and have fun with it. And just, you will be answered. So hopefully that's helpful about talking to places, houses, and sharing the love and memories and things that you have with your house. And I decided to do it on this group. Okay, see you again.